This is what it looks like. I have now like a list view here where I can just see, what cameras I have, or I have a thumbnail view as well that I can quickly preview all of the shots that I have listed, right? And then what I can do as well is, this is my default IDT. So you see, this is like a list of all the cameras where I can set what is exactly, the file format that I want to use, or the profile that I want to use for that particular camera. But actually, let me just load a proper sequence that I want to show you, which kind of really, this becomes more interesting. I'm just going to go and start a new project. No, I don't want to save this one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually not going to use, original camera raws. I'm going to use transcoded media, because we have to do this very often, right? We are not always working with original camera raw that holds all the metadata that we can say, oh, it was shot like this and that. No, very often we cannot get, media that's been transcoded. So what I got here is a bunch of clips. Okay, you see, they're all kind of clips, just transcoded with the same file name and the same time code, and they're all ProRes files. And I'm just going to go select them all, and I'm going to click on open and check this out. Bang! Again, this window that we used to have, hey, what's your IDTs? It didn't pop out. And the reason why, it didn't pop up, it's because we have, set ourselves up in this, our camera profile window, and it kind of recognizes every file. It says, oh, I recognize this file is coming from this camera, and I'm going to use, based on your preference setting, exactly this profile. And as long as you go through it, and as long as there is absolutely no unknowns, you can actually choose whether you want to have unknowns manually selected or not. You have an option here to do. You're basically able to completely go and import mix of shots. So let's see what I got here. So let me show you. So this is a Sony, right? Okay, then this shot here is also like Sony, right? So let's have a look here. No, this is something that comes from Ai camera. Okay, check it out. These are all basically different cameras, that I just transcoded and I just put in, and the system is able to go and just look at the file and say, I think this is this camera and this is the profile that I'm going to give you. Okay. And what is happening is that very often we work with material that has been somehow shot, transcoded, and edited. One of my clients in Germany is calling this workflow a sausage workflow. So let me show you what is exactly sausage workflow so that you get the idea to what it is. Client is going to send you an edited timeline. Okay, and this edited timeline is going to have basically, it's going to just render everything as a single ProRes 422 clip, right? And it's just going to say, here you go, can you go and grade this? So let me show you what we did. I'm just going to go and start a new sequence again. I'm not going to save this one. Okay, and I'm just going to fetch from Resolve. Okay, so what happens now is that it basically brought this in, but because they are unknown, it brought the window up now and says, hey, you know what? There is absolutely no metadata. There is nothing I was able to figure out. It all looks the same to me. So what do you think is this? Okay, so what, I do, I, for example, know, my clients, let's say, for example, this particular client, I know that they shoot a lot with RED, they shoot a lot with a DJI, and also they're using a lot of a stock footage, archive footage. So what I did is I built something which we call camera templates. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can build templates. So you can just say, okay, for example, if I click here on plus, I can keep adding new cameras that potentially using. But before I started this presentation, I built myself a little template for this particular client that I call a web promo. And basically these are the cameras that just come up there. You start to select the camera profile and there is this massive list of options. And you just go why do I have to go through all of them? So what we wanted to do is we just wanted to give you few options. You know what camera is going to be working on. I don't need to see all this list of cameras that I support. That's fine. That can stay in the background. So I just want to see, cameras that are interesting to me. I want to be faster effectively. Okay, so what I do then is I say, okay, great. So this shot is something they shot high speed on RED. So I just click it and drop it onto RED. Okay, so I just do it like this. And now I have applied it. The moment I apply profile, I can also see a preview to what this particular IDT does to it. And it's looking actually pretty good. Now, I see that these are all moving shots, you see, so this is like an exterior, this is looking like a drone footage, this is looking like a drone footage, this is looking like a moving footage, you know, and basically I think this is also like probably something like moving like drone, but let me actually, these ones definitely, so I'm gonna click those three and drag them to DJI. Okay, fantastic, so that worked. Let me see, this one is also, I think, DJI, let's try. Yes, because she was outside, and this one could be red. Let's see if it's a red. Or if it's a DJI, I can tell, I can just quickly check it. Oh, it's DJI, it's better like that. Okay, these two shots are archived because I can see that they're already very contrasty. So I'm gonna go and select these two, and I'm just gonna go and apply an archive footage. So it's the Rec 709 to them, which is the what I have already at the moment, right? Let me see this one. I think, let me see, maybe they shot it with a DJI. No, they didn't. This is the Rec 709. This is also archive. And this one here, is this red or what is that? No, it is also DJI probably, right? No, it's not. It's 709. Perfect. So you see, I can basically quickly just figure out which one I want. When I see, let's imagine now you have a list of shots. You can shift click on all of them. You can actually view them by list, but I find them to be more intuitive to work like this. You can scale it up, quickly go through them and say, hey, I got my IDTs all set up perfectly, okay? This is all in perfect shape, and I say done. And now I'm much quicker. You see, I've just loaded in one page very quickly, shift click, compared, boom, 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 applied, and I got things working. Let me see actually my reference frame to see where we are. Yeah, good, very good. Let's see this one, fantastic. You know, it cooled it down a little bit, but maybe like actually I would probably leave it like this. And so on. So you see, like, I quickly balanced all of my timeline. I can check then my frames. I can see what's my darkest frame looking, what's my brightest frame looking. Yeah, that's good. This one's good. This one's good. All fantastic. Okay, and I'm good to go. I just kind of gave it a quick polish, quick balance. I introduced the right IDTs. It just brought my media like a little bit to the ballpark. Actually, you know what? This shot here, let me see. Maybe I want to open a little bit. It did already like a pretty good job, but I think I want to just open it a little bit more like this. Okay, fantastic. Great. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and say resolve push. And you see, I'm back on my timeline and I'm able to start working with my node tree ready, with my CDLs ready, with my show-lets ready, right? Everything is basically been put in place. Things were a little bit pre-balanced, and now I can start actually doing, my job properly.